Khan Academy, add and subtract fractions, equivalent expressions with common denominators. Equivalent expressions with common denominators. What expression can be used to add 1/2 plus 5/6? So they want us to look and see if we were trying to figure out this as common denominators, what would we use? Okay, well, I like to look at this first and say, well, we could do 2 times 6 and make it a 12. However, I also notice that when I do 2 times 3, I'm going to get 6. So if I have 1/2 and 5/6, okay, I can keep my 5/6 the same because I can change my half into 6. So I can do 2 times 3, which gives me a denominator of 6, and 1 times 3, which is 3. So I could do 3/6 plus 5/6. So I'm looking here and I see that as my choice for letter C. So I change my half into 3/6 and then keep my 5/6 the same. One block tower measures 89 over 100 meters tall. Another tower measures 7/10 meters tall. What expression can be used to find the total height of both towers? So we need to look and see how I can change these into a common denominator. Well, what I'm going to look at here is with my 7/10, I can pretty easily make 7/10 out of 100, because if I do 10 times 10, that makes it 100. So 7 times 10 would be 70. So I can do 89 plus 70 out of 100. So that's going to be my first thought, and I just need to see if that is a here. So 89 over 100 plus 70 over 100. And I'm not quite sure why their fraction bars didn't show up there, but I think that that's still the correct answer there. Which equation shows how to use equivalent fractions to evaluate 3/4 plus 1/3? So again, they kind of messed you up here by writing the original problem. So here they're just saying this is 3/4 plus 1/3. You can ignore this and go right to here. Okay, and then what they're saying is, okay, we have to change these into common denominators. Well, I can't do anything 3 times anything to make it a 4, so I'm going to have to change both of these. So I'm going to use the common denominator of 12, which I figure out by doing 3 times 4. So if I have 3/4 and I make that into 12ths, okay, my first fraction, so 4 times 3 is 12, so that means I need to do 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so I'm going to think of 3/4 now. I'm going to think of it as 9/12. Then I have 1/3, and I'm going to change that into a fraction out of 12ths. So 3 times 4 is 12, so 1 times 4 is 4. So I'm no longer, oops, and I can't draw, it won't let me draw that 4, so let's just pretend that's a 4 there. So I no longer think about my 1/3, I think about 9/12 and 4/12. So I have to go over here and figure out where do I have 9/12 and 4/12. So 9/12 and 4/12. What expression can be used to subtract 2/3 minus 4/9? Okay, and again, the first thing that we need to do is find that common denominator. In this case, I can take my 2/3, and I know that 3 times 3 is 9. So I can just keep it in ninths. So 3 times 3 is 9, 2 times 3 is 6. So I'm going to change this first fraction to 6/9, take away 4/9. So our whole goal is just to get it so that they have the same denominator on the bottom, common denominators. So I'm looking for 6/9 minus 4/9, and it's answer C.